Hey everyone, time for another video. I know it's been a while, but we got a pretty big event that could probably last a few weeks, and that's the FTX liquidation process. So as you know, they have $3.2 billion worth of crypto assets on their balance sheet, and it seems like they can liquidate up to $200 million per week. Now, of their holdings, Solana is one of their biggest at 685 million, and I'll be covering that. But first things first, we cover the same exact coins at the beginning: Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm going to go into Bitcoin dominance and what that means for alts, and then we'll take a look at some alts that I'm looking at for possible plays in the upcoming week. So let's really quickly dive into it. Bitcoin really hasn't changed. If you were, trading 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, and you missed this huge move up, right? We're back at the same prices, if not a little bit below. We rejected right from this bearish retest point of the breakdown. Okay, if you guys were in my short from 27.47, that's where I gave the short to enter. I personally got stopped out in profits. If you're still riding it, congrats. We'll take a look at this on a lower time frame in just a second, but as I mentioned, this level here, well, first of all, this is a very important level to hold. That's 25.2. Okay, now this is spot. We actually went below this on futures, so let me show you that. So here was the 25.2 level, right? We wicked down below. This was in the golden pocket, and then we bounced up. Okay, but back on the spot chart, it's a very crucial level to hold. Okay, because if we lose this and we make a lower low, then we have broken market structure. I've covered this in multiple streams. We're still at the same place, so it still hasn't really moved. But this is an area to hold. So 24.8 to 24.6 is very crucial to hold, because lose that, and by losing it, I mean closing the daily below that. Okay, we put in a new low. Wicks don't matter. It's if we close the candle below that level, we're in trouble. And if we do that, I'm looking for a lower high to short. Okay, so this level, again, from 24.8 to 24.6 is very crucial. This demand zone did already fill on the PERP chart. So for me, what I'm looking for on Bitcoin, let's start this chart from scratch again. This is what I'm looking at. Okay, so we have support here at 25.3. Okay, we've been bouncing off of it. We have this demand zone here that we already touched. Okay, now a lot of people are saying this is a head and shoulders. Okay, which they're not wrong, right? But you're not going to short this pattern just by this. You're going to have to wait until this 25.23 is flipped into resistance, which we haven't done so. This was previously resistance. Okay, we broke out, flipped it to support. We're holding it as support, but the more we touch support, okay, the more likely it's going to be that it's going to break and give in. But you need confirmation to do that. Okay, so if we go on the lower time frame, such as the 4 hour, this has been a tight range. I was hoping we get a little bit higher to short. Didn't happen, but here is where I'd be looking to short if we do get there. Okay, when we broke down, turned it into resistance, rejected from it. We had a deviation, okay, and we almost got to the point again. So I'm looking hopefully for a move up to short, and I already gave this call on my channel. I'm not going to long the next support touch, because we've already touched it about 5 or 6 times, right, on lower time frame, back here plus here. So I'm looking for this to happen. I would like a sweep of this wick and this demand zone. So basically I'm looking for a move down, reclaim it, and then I will mark it long with my stops above or below the wick, Okay, or I'm looking for 23.3, which is here-ish. Why that level? Let's make this black really quickly. Okay. Might get front ran a little bit, but right, so we broke out and actually flipped it to support here. Yes, we had the closures above, so that's support for me. We deviated, went back below, rejected, below, went up, failed to hold, came back down, and then we broke out, right? So I'm looking for a retest point there. We also have this order block. So I'm looking for, I don't know if we get a deep wick into it. Anything could happen, right? We could have a wick like this. We could have a huge move like this. I'm looking for, first of all, that confirmation play. Take that liquidity here, reclaim it, and then mark it long with stops below the wick. Hasn't happened yet, so I can't give you stop loss placement. I'm looking for a move like that. Don't mind this take profit level. I'm just playing it level by level, so hopefully something like that. Or I'm looking to buy this area. Okay, now this one is going to be, I can't really give you the play because the zone is too wide, or this order block is too wide. And most of you probably have terrible risk management. So I'm personally playing this out, and this would be my setup. Okay, the stop is wide on this, but I have perfect risk management that I would only lose about 3% of my portfolio if I get stopped. And I can't give you the setup for that, but that's how I'm playing it. I'm DCing in this zone. Stops below the wick, and then hopefully we go higher. So I'm looking for, on a higher time frame, the 3-day here, here, right? And then come back down, make another higher low on here, and then go higher, right? So something like this. Bounce somewhere here first, move up. If not, come wick into the zone, close above hopefully, and go higher. Okay. And same with the short. I already gave this in my channel, but I'm looking to short around 26.6 to 26.8-ish. Play this range until broken, right? And then go from there. In terms of ETH, let's take a look at this on the weekly, right? We have this trend holding, but if this trend breaks, the first area that I'm looking to bid is going to be possibly here, 14.18-ish. Okay, support, flipped it, right, held it. So this is going to hold, and this is your range. Okay. Now I gave my spot bids for these coins, but I'm looking to long 14.18 if we get it, right? Now on a lower time frame, and you have to go lower to find this, but if we break this and turn into resistance, this is the 3-day, but you know, break it on a lower time frame, such as a 2-hour, could possibly play it. You know, there's no reason to get bullish on this until it flips 2026. Okay, resistance, deviation, resistance, resistance. If we go back up to this level, this is a supply zone, which I'm looking to short, right? Short setup. Long setup at 14.18. So something like that. Stop loss. Just play this range. Otherwise, if we break down below, then we're playing this range. We take it level by level. Lower time frame, just like Bitcoin, right? Here is Yes, we had the wicks below, but that's your support. Here is your resistance. Here's your pathetic range, right? Rejection, deviation, maybe if it goes back up to 1700, possible short. Okay. I wouldn't long here again because look, you have all these touches, right? Yes, we actually took this liquidity out last 4 hour and closed above, but I'm not looking to long this. I'd rather short up here or long below and just play it that way. Now, why is possibly this looking bad or alts looking bad in general? Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. Okay, a bullish Bitcoin dominance is bearish for alts, right? And I posted the chart, and my students know this. Okay, if you're my student, I told you if we go up, Bitcoin's decreasing, right? Bitcoin dominance is increasing, alts are just dying. And if alts are stable, or sorry, Bitcoin is stable and Bitcoin dominance is increasing, alts could possibly run, and that was the case for a little bit, but it's only those high cap coins, or not high cap coins, high volume coins such as UNFI, Cyber, all those coins that were trending for a little bit. And right now, a lot of these coins are pumping because everyone's shorting in anticipation of this FTX liquidation process. All right, there's no reason to play this right now. There's no price action that's deliverable for you, or if you're trading the 5-minute, then good luck to you. But everyone's trying to short Seoul, thinking for lower prices. I'll show you my plan for Seoul in just a bit, but you can't just short because something is going down. You can't short just because something is going up. You have to have a trigger. All right, and if this breaks out, a lot of alts are fucked. Like, because that means if this breaks out and Bitcoin dumps, you are looking at probably a 10% drop down on alts. Okay, so if this breaks out, the technical target of this is about 51.5%. You're going to get some resistance here at 50.74. Right? If you are trying to long alts, you want to buy or long alts at areas of rejection, at resistances, and sell at support when it comes to Bitcoin dominance. But right now, this looks bullish to me. We have a falling wedge, okay, and an accumulation base where it looks like it wants to break out. So I would advise to be very careful on alts. If you're longing, I would long with very small position sizes. It doesn't mean short, okay, but just be wary of that. All right, now let's take a look at Seoul. So my plan for Seoul, and Weatherman, who's one of my students, had the same exact setup. All right, so that being said, I'm actually going to give you guys, that was support. Okay, that was a 4-hour support. The more we touch support, okay, and if we don't get a move from it, the weaker it's going to be, right? So this becomes an SR point, a support resistance area, and we have a supply zone here. Okay, so if we get this move up here, I'm looking for a possible short entry. I'd enter in very light. Now my stop is a little wide, but I'll give you the reasoning for that. I'd enter in with about like 10% here. Okay, my DCA would come within this supply zone, but I would like to DCA up here actually at 16.64. And I'd enter in another DCA up here at 20.14. So I would go in with this at a lower than normal position size. So my initial process is the 15, 35, 30 to 35, and then 50 to 55%. How I would enter in here is I go in 10% of entry, 10% of the amount that you want to allocate. I go in 15% at DCA, and I go in 25% at DCA2. Okay, so I'm using half of my normal position size. And for targets, two areas where I'm looking for. One, this order block here. Two, this order block here. And if I get stopped out, then I am looking to short here. Okay, so this could possibly put in a swing failure. Okay, I'm still not looking too long. I will not long this coin until all this dust is settled. But I think Weatherman has the same setup. I'd be looking to long that order block, stops below the wick. I'm not going to give the setup. I gave it to my class, but because Weatherman has the same setup, just take his. We have support at 1430-ish, and I gave my long-term Seoul levels. Okay, we have support here. Right, anything from here's the levels for Seoul really quickly. Anything below 16, okay, down to about 10 is a buy for me. And I'm talking about spot and holding it for midterm. Okay, midterm to long term. Right? I don't care about timing this perfectly. I'm not trying to time anything perfectly. I'm trying to accumulate, and that's my plan. So anything from 16 down, I'm looking to bid. These are my bids. They're shared in the Discord and in the video that I made. Okay, but that's the plan. So I'm looking to short there. Possibly take a long scalp. Now for long scalps, this one, I'm only risking 1.5% of my portfolio. Okay, and then if I get stopped on that one, I look to re-enter there with another 1.5% and play it that way. Okay, so that's it for Seoul. Injective, I gave this play when I covered Injective last time. There was the order block. I said that's where we should long it. If that loses, then the next point would be there. Okay, so this order block actually filled perfectly and up, I think, like 5%. Yep. Okay, so Injective is coming at a very crucial point as well. Let me remove this really quickly. Okay, so this had a double top. This rejected from the neckline of that double top area. Okay, so for me, I'm looking to get into this long term. I gave my long term bids for Injective in my channel and in the video, but I'm not trying to play this on a leveraged point. This could actually if this breaks out, you buy the retest. Okay, otherwise we'd bid at 565-ish. So setup for Injective would be, now this is only if it's a breakout, your stop would be below. Sorry, breakout, retest. Okay, so breakout, retest. Otherwise we bid there, stops below the wick. And it's in a range, okay? So you're going to play this range until broken. If it goes back up there, you're going to short it and play that way. So yep. Now the coins that I'm trying to nail the top of is TRB. If you're shorting this coin, why? Okay. The funding is max negative, so you're already possibly paying insane amounts of fees if you're holding shorts. But this isn't slowing down. It's making higher highs and higher lows. Okay. So for me to short this, this topped out perfectly. Actually, I think it actually double topped. Yeah. Yep, it double topped. I'm looking for a move up, grab liquidity. Swing failure, close below. You short it with your stops above the wick that's created. You go in small because I don't know how much higher this can go. But if this closes above, so if this doesn't if this takes liquidity and closes above, you're still going to wait to short. This can continue to run to maybe this breaker. So two possible short entries. One, short around 30 bucks. Okay, with small position size, DCA around 3151 and stop at 32. Risk no more than about 2 to 3%. This is a very volatile coin. Or you're waiting for this confirmation play, swing failure, take the highs, close below, market short with your stop loss above the wick. Okay, hasn't happened yet, so don't know where the stop is going to be, and I'm not going to give TPs. Take it at your own areas that you feel comfortable at. Okay. Let me take a look at something. Golden pocket is actually a DCA point. I might move my stop loss a little bit higher and just lower my position sizing. Maybe go 5% at entry, 15% at DCA, 1 at 3151, and 20% at the 6.6 fib. But if this takes out the high, this is going to take out the 0.5 fib and close below. Again, beautiful short opportunity. I'm not looking to long this coin. I want to short it to zero. Okay. Next coin is going to be UNFI. Actually, I think I have this one. The video that I made for the analysis, I gave you literally the pico top of it. It was the 786 fib. Okay, and from that point on, I mean, I couldn't nail it any higher. Give you 30% move down. Bounce from the demand zone. Maybe if we go back into this area, this golden pocket zone. Actually, let me see something. What does lower time frame say on here? Okay. So one possible short attempt can be at 8.75-ish with stops at 1920 or 920. Okay. Let's put in a possible double bottom. So this would be a quick scalp attempt, risk no more than 1 to 2%. But I'd like to short this golden pocket if we get it. So anywhere from 9.85 to about $10.15-ish. Okay, I'm going to keep a manual stop on that, and if it flips this area into support, I don't know if we get there, but if it flips this to support, then I'll cut it. Otherwise, I'm going to keep a manual stop loss. My risk is managed, and I will cut it if I have to. Okay. Now for my harmonic people, this could possibly put in a bearish harmonic, which would be the D point here, or C point there, and then just dump. So two areas to short. Manual stop loss, and just dump. Last but not least, PERP. Now these are very illiquid coins, so I don't usually trade these, but that's where all the volume is. Not even worth putting it on my watch list. I don't care. Order block, that's where I'll be looking to short. Something like that. I'm not taking this one. Okay, I'm more interested in Seoul and TRB and ETH. But I'm giving it a possible entry point. This is possibly putting a accumulation base. First area of rejection is going to be the 79 cent region. Okay, you have a 2-hour order block here. So possible rejection there first. Flip this into support, which it's putting in a cup currently. Okay, see how the accumulation is tight and horizontal. Puts in a cup. This could be looking in to put in a reversal. Right, flip this to support. Then we short this order block. It's a 4-hour order block. Okay, should reject from there and hopefully make its way down. So if you do take this short on this 2-hour order block, it's a very, very tight stop loss. Okay, like I know this is a 5% risk, but you're only risking 1% because you're scalping this. And that's it. That's pretty much what I'm looking at. I'm going to let the price action develop throughout these next few weeks. It's going to be very choppy. I'm more interested in accumulating if we go down and have a deep wick than trying to play leverage. So just know that it's going to be very frustrating for most here because people are going to be trying to time the bottom, knife catching, and trying to nail the top. It's going to be choppy. Probably win rate for most is going to be less than 60%. So I would advise being, I trade about 2 to 3% or 2 to 3 times a week, and these next few weeks I might not even trade leverage and just wait for accumulation. So it's for those that are waiting for calls every single day. Don't expect it from me. I probably won't, because I'm not trying to make money. I'm trying to preserve my capital and not lose it. Okay, that's the #1 risk management tool during a bear market. Preserve capital, accumulate spot, and go that way. Thanks, everyone.